Well, Nintendo's just come out with a brand new game called Codename S.T.E.A.M, and I thought I should review it, cause why not? So what should we talk about first? How about the story? The story is shown through cutscenes that are kinda reminiscent of the Wonderful 101 with all their comic book style stuff. And basically the plot of the game is that there is an advanced fighting force that uses steam-powered machinery. By the way, this took place back in the early 1800s. And it is led by Abraham Lincoln, who it turns out his death was faked in Ford's Theater and is now leading the Steam Brigade. Weird, I don't think I remember learning about that in history class. The interesting thing about this is that all the agents that you can play as are characters from American folklore, whether it be John Henry, Tom Sawyer, or a lot of characters from The Wizard of Oz like the Lion and the Scarecrow. I find that kinda nice because a lot of the times when there's symbolism in games tying back to something, it's usually religion, so it's nice to see something else for once. So now that we're done with the story, I should probably talk about the gameplay. Basically, what you do in this game is you have to fight the aliens on your map, but you have a limited number of steam per each character per turn. The steam lets you move in different squares and fire at enemies. The nice thing about this, though, is the fact that unless you fire or do some other action, you can actually go back and get back the steam you had if you want to rethink where you want to stay. But if you fire, then you lose all the steam that you had already walked off. Each character has a main weapon that's exclusive to them and a sub-weapon that they can pick from your pool of all your sub-weapons. And each weapon has different effects as well as different amounts of steam that it uses to fire. There's also two more strategy elements that you're going to be using in the game, so I best talk about them right here. One is the aliens' glowing weak points. Basically, most aliens have a glowing pink weak point on them, which is where you want to shoot them because it does more damage when you shoot them there. But the other one is a bit more unique, and that element is Overwatch mode. Basically, how Overwatch mode works is if you have enough steam left over after your turn and have a weapon that is enabled with Overwatch equipped, when the enemy's turn goes, your character can detect enemies, and if one gets close enough, they'll automatically shoot them. And heck, it sometimes even stuns the enemy. Just be warned, the enemies can use Overwatch too. Heck, in this game, even save points can be strategic. Basically, at each save point, you have several options. You can just save, or if you have enough coins, you can save and restore, which will bring back all the health and recharge all the steam of the person saving, or restore all, which will restore all the health and steam of each person. However, each save point can only be used once, so you have to factor in how you're going to use it and when. If there's one thing that is an issue in this game, it's the enemy turns. Frankly, they go on way too long. Basically, you have to take the time to sit through every enemy performing their attacks. And keep in mind, there's usually a lot more enemies on the field than you have agents. And it even takes time for the enemies who none of your characters are even within the view of and you can't even see. However, Nintendo knew this and released an update that lets you double the speed of each enemy turn. However, you can also return the speed to normal if a lot of aliens near you are attacking and you need to know what they're doing. Honestly, it's really satisfying whenever you can dominate the map by defeating all the enemies and making it to the goal. Newcomers should be warned though, this game is not easy. Trust me, there are many maps that are very difficult. And sometimes I've even had to restart on a map because I put myself in such a bad position. And honestly, that can be pretty frustrating when you consider how long some of these maps take. Overall, Codename S.T.E.A.M is a great video game if you like strategy. If you're really good with strategy games, then you will love this game. But if you're unexperienced with strategy games, you may want to try something easier before picking this up.